I have a terrible fear we're going to wake up to a collapse of the American dollar as engineered by the money traders within Goldman Sachs. I can guarantee you, as I'm speaking to you today, they have a currency trading division that is going to profit when the dollar is collapsed and a new currency is created for the world markets. I can guarantee you that's going to happen. And guess what? The president will still go to Martha's Vineyard for croquette. Believe me, he's going there this summer. It's interesting to me that when George Bush went on vacation, the lightweights in the media criticized every vacation he took, but not when Barack Obama goes and parties with the very people who busted America out like a sporting goods store. Right now, I have a new article that just appeared moments ago in Newsmax that I'm shocked to see. The headline by Jim Myers is, British government says we did not consult the United States on Michael Savage exclusion. I don't know how in the world this article got published. I don't know why the British government would suddenly assert that it never consulted with President Obama's administration before placing Michael Savage on a list of people barred from entering England. Why would they do this unless they were covering their tracks? In other words, think about what I'm saying to you. What would motivate the British government to come out with an official statement saying we did not consult the United States on a Michael Savage exclusion? They're covering for the Obama administration. They're governments. They can do whatever they want. They can predate and post-date emails and letters. They've got all the power. If you got Goldman Sachs running the Treasury, why should I trust any government with regard to what they're saying at any time about anybody? I'll read this to you. It's from Newsmax.com. I'm linking it up on michaelsavage.com. It's a mind blower. The British government has asserted that it never consulted with President Obama's administration before placing conservative talk radio host Michael Savage on a list of people barred from entering the country. But the British government headed by Prime Minister Gordon Brown did acknowledge that British and American officials have since discussed Mr. Savage and Britain's policy on exclusion. That means that they're post-dating the predated conversation. In other words, they're doing it now, but they didn't do it then. I don't believe a word of this. On May 5, British Home Secretary Jackie Smith placed Savage's name on a list of 16 undesirables banned from the UK for, quote, stirring up hatred and promoting extremist views. The agency claims Savage was engaged in unacceptable behavior by seeking to provoke others to serious criminal acts, which is total rubbish. In banning Savage, Britain lumped him together with Hamas lawmaker Yunus al-Astal. And by the way, Chris Ruddy, you ought to add the Hamas lawmaker bashed in the head of a 4-year-old Jewish child. He's not a Hamas lawmaker, Chris. Hamas lawmaker Yunus al-Astal was in jail in Israel for 10 years for shooting 2 young parents, and when he found a 4-year-old Jewish girl crying, he smashed her head in with a rifle butt. And 2 Russian gang leaders who were imprisoned for their role in a racially motivated killing of 19 immigrants. By the way, Savage's show is not broadcast in Britain. At the time, there was some speculation that the banning of Savage, an Obama critic, could be connected to a lawsuit he filed in mid-April against Department of Homeland Security Janet Napolitano over a DHS report suggesting U.S. military veterans could be targeted by right-wing extremists. You can read the rest of the article. It says, following publication of the list, Home Office and blah, 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 have discussed the government's policy on exclusion with American officials. That is total rubbish, in my opinion. They're covering their tracks. This means beyond a doubt that it is the U.S. government that sent my name to England and said put him on the list because we hate his guts and we'd like to neutralize him. I see their hands all over this. Do you want to comment on this? Why would the United Kingdom choose Michael Savage and put his name on a list with murderers when my show was not even broadcast in England? Why would they seek me out, of all people? After all, there are others who are far more popular than me. There are very famous talk show hosts who do virtually the same thing I do. Why was I chosen? Could it have something to do with the lawsuit against Janet Napolitano? And why is it that when I appealed to Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State, to intervene on my behalf about 2 months ago, month ago, saying you may not like my politics, but I am an American citizen, and I'm asking you to intervene on my behalf, why did Hillary Clinton refuse to do so? How will that help her or hurt her when she wants to run for the office of the presidency years from now? Would you remember that Hillary Clinton refused to act on my behalf? Or on the other hand, if Hillary did intervene right now and move to get my name off the list because it's illegal, by the way, it violates European Union law. Don't get me started. They're violating my human rights. according to European Union law. If you don't believe me, look at EU law. It's on michaelsavage.com in the original publications and the original filings, which we sent to Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton gave us the middle finger. She did nothing for us. She can still redeem herself and prove that she is not partisan. She can still appeal to the half of America who detests the Democrats, who fear Obama as a Marxist and fear her as well. She can redeem herself. If her handlers had any sense, they would say this is your greatest opportunity to show yourself as a fair-minded, nonpartisan Secretary of State. It will help you when you run for office against Obama after his poll numbers collapse, Mrs. Clinton. I doubt that they have the brains to do so.